Have you ever been in a season where you're doing everything you know how to do, but it's still not working for you? You've been faithful, you've been consistent, you've been working hard, and your nets keep coming up empty. Well, that's where Peter found himself in Luke chapter 5. He had fished all night, he was tired, and he was frustrated. And then Jesus comes along and says something that challenges everything. Jesus said, "Now go out where it is deeper and let down your nets to catch some fish." Peter said, "Lord, Master, we've tried all night. We've tried that." But I love Peter because he didn't stay there. Peter said something powerful. This is what Peter said. He said, "Master, since you said so, I'll let the nets down again." And that's where the miracle and the momentum happened. Not in the shallow water, but in the deeper place of obedience and alignment. You see, when God is trying to update your life, He doesn't start with your situation. He starts with your operating system. Many of us are praying for miracles with outdated operating systems. We want new blessings, but we're still running old programs. So today, let's talk about 7 things that can keep you from being aligned with God's update. Number 1, your past experience. You see, your past may explain what happened to you, but it doesn't have to define what happens for you next. Peter's last night wasn't productive, but it was God's next word that was powerful. You see, sometimes we're so busy rehearsing what didn't work that we miss what God is trying to do next. God doesn't need your past to bless your future. He just needs your permission to try again. Number 2, excuses. I've learned that excuses are just outdated information dressed up as logic. We say things like, "I'm too old," or "it's not the right time," or "that's just how I've always been." But when you keep operating on an old word, you miss the new revelation. God doesn't upgrade your excuses, but He replaces them with instructions. You see, Peter could have argued with Jesus, but he didn't. He said, "If you say so, I'll do it." And that's when his system aligned with the update. Number 3, pride, thinking we know better. You see, pride is when you become unteachable, when your experience outweighs your expectations. You see, when you think you already know, you stop listening from who's trying to teach you. Peter was a professional fisherman and Jesus was a carpenter. But it was Peter's humility that opened the door for his miracle. You see, sometimes God will use someone outside your expertise, not to insult you, but to invite you to go deeper. Number 4, fear. The fear of going into the depths of the unknown. You see, fear will whisper to you, "What if it doesn't work?" But faith will say to you, "But what if it does?" You see, you'll never know what's in the deep waters if you keep standing on the shore. God doesn't want you to grow your comfort zone. He wants you to grow your courage zone. You see, Peter had to leave the safety of the shore to discover the abundance in the deep waters. Number 5, comfort zone. You see, comfort zone is where shallow waters feel safe because they are familiar. But I've learned that nothing grows there. You see, you can't develop deep faith in shallow waters. Some of us have mistaken comfort for our calling. The deeper God calls you, the more uncomfortable it's going to feel, but that's where the capacity for more is born. Remember this, your comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. Number 6, comparison. I had to learn this. You know, you fog up your clarity when you compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 30. I love this because you didn't hear Peter say, "Well, Lord, what about them? What about those folks?" Instead, he focused on his instructions. You see, every time you compare, you minimize your calling. You see, you can't align your system while running someone else's software. So make sure you be aware of that one. And then last but not least, distractions. I had to learn this. You see, you can't hear divine instructions if you're constantly scrolling through the noise. Distraction has a way of disconnecting you from your destiny. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is simply turning down the volume of the world so you can hear the whisper of God. Remember, you can't download truth while streaming dysfunction. So I want to encourage you today, silence the feed of dysfunction so you can download the opportunity that is right before you. Peter had to tune out the crowd in order to focus on the command to go out into the deep. And that's what I'm here to encourage you with today. You see, when Peter obeyed and went deeper, his nets began to break from the overflow. That's what happens when alignment meets obedience. Momentum is always released. So if you've been feeling stuck, been feeling like you've been getting empty results, or just frustrated, those are signs that it's time for an operating system update. And that's why I wrote this book, Momentum Mindset. Get unstuck, move when it matters most. This book is designed to help you to renew your internal operating system, your spirit, your soul, your mindset. Why? So you can move from status quo to momentum. Remember, your miracle and your momentum isn't waiting in the shallow waters. It's waiting in the deep. And when God says go deeper, it's because he's preparing to fill your nets beyond your imagination. And that's how and why I wrote this book. I'm Dr. Samuel Jones, and remember, all momentum begins when we become more aware about what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're doing, but more importantly, how we're putting it out into the universe. I'm putting this book out in the universe to help you create your momentum mindset. Click the link below to get you a copy, and I can't wait to see what kind of momentum mindset that you come up with. God bless.